Hello, friends. I have an interesting cautionary tale for you about adultery and the punishment for it. My life is not a perfect example to follow. I never had a desire to move to a bustling city with all its noise and crowds. Most of my friends were eager to leave our small town. "Ethan, it's time for you to leave this useless town," my friend Michael said. "Michael, what am I missing in this huge anthill? I like everything here," I replied. "You have to understand these are great opportunities. You can develop and earn a decent living," Michael said. "I don't want to live in a small apartment box, Michael," I protested. "You'll earn more over time and buy yourself a better home," Michael replied. "You just moved there recently, Michael. Let's see how you argue in a couple of years. I enjoy the peace and tranquility of our town, and I'm content with my job at the sawmill." "Well, if you ever change your mind, I can put in a good word for you. We'll find you a decent job," Michael offered. "Thank you, Michael. I'll keep that in mind," I replied. I worked hard at the local sawmill, and the work was both challenging and fulfilling. I had a good relationship with the owner, Liam, and I hoped to take on more responsibility and earn a better income in the future. When I was younger, I met Mary. She studied elsewhere but often visited her parents in our town. I frequently helped her with various tasks and assisted her parents with household chores. Initially, Mary and I were just friends, but our relationship gradually blossomed into something more. I had been in love with Mary for a long time, and she appreciated my help and reliability. She knew she could always count on me, and it played a significant role in our future together. Mary returned my feelings, and I was over the moon with happiness. 15 years have passed since we got married, and I'm still madly in love with her. I try to spoil her with romantic surprises, but Mary spends a lot of time in the big city. She reluctantly agreed to live with me in our private home, and we often quarreled because of it. "Ethan, I'm tired of this place. When are we moving to the city? All my friends are there, and it's so boring here. I have nowhere to go," Mary complained. "Your earnings here aren't very impressive," Mary said. "But what is it that draws you to this city chaos? It's so peaceful here. We have ample space in the house and on the surrounding grounds, no bothersome neighbors and fresh air. Additionally, with Liam's belief in me and me potential to take on new projects, I should be able to earn much more in the future." "My love, you've been discussing a higher salary with me for a year now, but it seems pointless," Mary said. "You're still in the same place while your peers have switched jobs multiple times in search of better opportunities. It's time to make a change. Your Liam is a miser who will feed you breakfast until old age, and I don't want to wait that long. Our house is beautiful, and it would be nice to come here sometimes to relax, but I do not agree to live here permanently. I have nowhere to put my clothes." Mary was a big fashionista. The people living here did not share her views. They were very simple, and this annoyed her insanely. While I could understand her perspective, the thought of being a complete stranger in the middle of a big city was daunting. I couldn't even fathom such a life. "Liam, do you have a minute?" I asked. "Yes, Ethan, of course. What's up?" Liam replied. "I have been working for you for many years now, and I need to develop and earn more," I explained. "I hope you understand." "Of course, Ethan. I understand better than anyone else. You're my most valuable employee, and I deeply appreciate your work. However, we're currently facing challenges with investors, and I need to keep our entire enterprise running," Liam replied. "But as soon as we overcome these problems, you'll be my #1 priority for a solid bonus and salary increase," Liam assured me. "I understand how it all looks. Let's set aside business for a bit and have dinner together. It's a great way for me to thank you for your work. Come on, bring your wife and meet me at the restaurant at 8 p.m. I won't accept a rejection." "I certainly appreciate your offer, Liam, but I need to discuss it with Mary first," I said. "Okay, but I'm sure she won't mind. See you in the evening," Liam replied. I was already tired of making excuses. If I wanted to leave this place, it would be because of the working conditions. Liam had given me a lot of work, but the income hadn't increased much. My patience was wearing thin. "Hi, Mary," I greeted her. "Hi, darling, I see you're in a good mood today," she replied. "Yes, Liam called me and invited us to a restaurant this evening," I explained. "I know, I'm all for it. No need to discuss anything," Mary replied enthusiastically. "I don't understand your sudden change of heart. You called him an asshole," I reminded her. "I was wrong. Liam is actually a very sweet and educated person. I think we'll have a good dinner, get to know him better, and maybe things will go uphill faster for you," Mary explained. "Well, I don't know about that, but since you're so excited, you can talk to him," I said. I was surprised by Mary's sudden change of attitude towards Liam, but I decided not to question it. As the evening approached, Liam greeted us with a beaming smile. "My dears, I've been waiting for you," he exclaimed. Mary blushed as Liam complimented her on her appearance. We took our seats at the table, and Liam turned to Mary with a curious question. "I always wanted to ask you, what did such a princess forget in our wilderness?" Mary's response was filled with frustration towards me. "It's all Ethan. He is the reason I live here," she retorted. Liam suggested that me should take Mary to better places more often to lift her spirits. Me defended himself, but Liam wasn't buying it. "A real man should not have excuses and excuses. He should pamper his princess, Mary," Liam quipped, with a sly grin. Liam turned to Mary with a suggestive look. "You want a real man with you, don't you?" Mary laughed off the comment. "Oh, Liam, it's like you're trying to insert yourself into my love life." Liam assured her that he wasn't interested in stealing someone else's wife, but warned me to take better care of her or someone else might try to steal her away. I felt uncomfortable with their conversation and tried to remain calm, but their flirtatious behavior was hard to ignore. The evening was a nightmare for me, and I ended up drinking several bottles of wine to cope with their shameless behavior. "I'm sorry, Liam, but we have to go," I said, feeling angry. Mary protested, clearly drunk. "Ethan, what are you doing? We're having a good time." "Mary, if I said it's time to go, then let's get going. Don't make me repeat myself," I said firmly. Liam tried to ease the tension by suggesting we meet up another day. We said our goodbyes and left. Liam's presumptuous behavior had infuriated me. Who was he to decide what was best for us? But what really bothered me was Mary's behavior. "Mary, what was that all about?" I asked. "We were having a good time, and you acted like a grumpy old man all evening. You not only ruined the night, but you practically kicked me out of the restaurant," she complained. "That's a ridiculous accusation, Mary. I would never do something like that," I retorted. The incident only added to my growing suspicion of Mary's strange behavior. She would often disappear when I was working late, which was unusual for her. I became increasingly curious about what she was doing when I wasn't around. Eventually, I decided to follow her. I lied to Mary, telling her that I would be helping Steve with his house and would be gone late into the night. Mary didn't seem bothered by the change in plans, which was strange since we usually spent our days off together. Mary seemed almost happy about my change of plans, but she tried to hide her excitement and let me go about my business. When I arrived at the sawmill, there was no one there. I decided to confront Liam about his behavior. I had reached my limit with Liam's questionable behavior and knew that I couldn't continue working for him. My suspicions only grew stronger, as it was clear that Liam was hiding something from me. I managed to get inside the sawmill without any issues, but Liam's office was locked. I tried to pick the lock, but it wouldn't budge. In frustration, I ended up drilling through the lock. I didn't waste any time with the safe either. I managed to break open the safe and found some suspicious invoices inside. It became clear that only a small portion of the wood we processed was legitimate, while a much larger amount was sold illegally without being taxed. The amount of money involved was staggering. I couldn't believe that Liam had been hiding this from us all along. He had been keeping all the profits for himself and lying to us about it. "You greedy bastard!" I shouted in anger. Liam had been doing some shady business, and we had no idea about it. He had been deceiving us all along. I heard footsteps and laughter approaching, so I quickly closed the safe and turned off the lights before hiding under the table. Suddenly, Liam stormed into the office, with Mary's voice audible from outside. I cursed myself for not locking the office door. Liam was clearly agitated and demanded to know why the office was no closed. "Louis, hurry up!" Mary's voice could be heard, indicating her impatience. "I'll take the money now, Mary. I left it on the table before leaving and forgot to pick it up," said Liam. Mary entered the office slowly while Liam fiddled with the desk. "Hurry up, Liam. I don't want my husband to catch us here. What is he doing here on his day off? You said he was helping his friend," he whispered. "Yes, but you never know. He wasn't himself after that dinner. You went too far, but I liked how furious Ethan was," replied Mary. "Can you imagine how furious he'll be when I take you on vacation, pick you up, and play another prank on him? Let him work. He's doing great on his own, but I won't pay him any extra." "He's not going anywhere," said Liam. "Wow, Liam, you're cruel," Mary replied, smiling. "That's how slaves should be treated. They need to be kept in line or nothing will come of it. You're turning me on, my boss," Mary said excitedly. "But where is the damn money? I've searched everywhere," Liam grumbled. "Okay, come here, my bitch. Daddy will punish you well in front of the restaurant," he added. "Go ahead and punish me, my tiger," Mary replied. I held back until the very end, but as Liam swiftly ripped off my wife's clothes and threw her onto the table, I clenched my fists and emerged from under the table. "And you're a vile bitch!" I spat at Liam. Caught off guard, I kicked Liam and sent him flying off the table. "Ethan, is that you? What are you doing here?" Mary asked, frightened. "Shut up, bitch!" I shouted. Liam attempted to stand up, but I punched him in the teeth, causing him to fall back to the floor. Liam passed out. "Stop yelling, bitch! How could you? I was willing to do anything for you, and you shamelessly lied to me and messed around with this beast. Ethan, please forgive me," Mary pleaded. "I don't know what came over me," Mary cried as she tried to justify herself. "No, bitch. You are unforgivable," I said firmly. I gagged Mary with a rag and tied her up. I took them to the sawmill and secured them to the table where logs were cut into boards with a saw. Then I slapped Liam back to consciousness. "Wake up, fool! Face your fate!" I shouted. "Ethan, wait! Ethan, please! I know I treated you badly, but whatever you're planning, don't do it," Mary pleaded. "No, right now I will do what needs to be done," I replied coldly. I switched on the saw, which shattered the surrounding silence with its chilling noise. The track on the table where those scoundrels were tied began to move. They realized that I was about to cut them in half and screamed like uncastrated pigs. I had some cranberry juice left over at my workplace, which came in handy for this case. As the saw drew closer to their bodies, I gripped the saw's juice dispenser and let the liquid rain down on the wretched souls below. The juice resembled blood, causing them to panic and scream. I held their heads in place, making them believe that they were being drenched in the blood of their fallen comrade. Their cries drowned out the sound of the saw's blade, but I eventually switched it off and threw them off the table. "I gave you a second chance, but shouldn't believe that you got off easy," I warned, observing their trembling bodies. I contacted the authorities who arrived and discovered a pile of documents proving Liam's illicit activities. Despite their desperate pleas and attempts to blame me, no one paid heed to their cries. They were eventually tried and sentenced, with Liam receiving a lengthy prison sentence. Following a major investigation, significant violations were uncovered in the enterprise's operations. Fortunately, I was able to avoid any issues. On the other hand, Mary was dragged through the courts, but was ultimately let go. However, she had very little left, as I had discarded everything. I left her with nothing but her unfulfilled dreams. As for me, I remained in the city and successfully established my own sawmill, which provided a lucrative income for both myself and my employees. My story has come to an end, my friend. If you liked it, then put a like and subscribe to the channel. Bye-bye.